Hey, before you scroll, listen to this for just a second. If you think paying rent is throwing money away, the housing market in 2026 is setting you up for the biggest financial trap of your life. Right now, the math is broken. In most US cities, buying a starter home costs about 40% more per month than renting the exact same place. You think you're building equity? No. You're mostly paying interest to the bank, insurance, and taxes. That's not an investment. That's a liability that sleeps in your bed. But here is my promise to you. If you watch this video all the way to the end, I'm going to give you a specific buy box formula. No guessing. You will know exactly, to the penny, when you should rent to get rich and when buying is actually safe. But first, you need to see the one calculation that proves why the American dream has become a nightmare for the middle class. And it starts with this number right here. Welcome to the Wealth Ascent. My job here isn't to sell you a course. It's to stop you from making a six-figure mistake. Let's be real. You feel it, right? You make decent money, maybe even six figures, but you still feel broke. You look at Zillow, and a house that was $300,000 4 years ago is now $550,000, and interest rates have doubled the payment. You're not crazy. The system shifted. For the last 40 years, the advice was simple: buy a house as soon as you can. But today, that advice is dangerous. If you force a purchase right now just because of FOMO, fear of missing out, you become house poor. You're working just to keep the roof over your head with zero cash left to actually enjoy your life. And that vulnerability, that is exactly what the big institutional players are counting on as we head into 2026. Forget 2008. What is lining up for 2026 is completely different, and honestly, it scares me more. We are looking at a scenario that could turn the middle class into permanent renters. Here is the setup. You have millions of people locked into 3% mortgages who refuse to sell. That keeps inventory super low. Then, you have big institutional investors, Wall Street firms, sitting on piles of cash, waiting for a dip. So, if the economy slows down in 2026 and regular families start losing jobs, they lose their homes. And who buys them? Not you, not your neighbor. Wall Street buys them. They turn those homes into rentals, and you end up renting the house you could have owned. This is the serfdom trap. So, how do you escape? How do you make sure you're the one buying, not the one getting evicted? Well, there is a specific escape plan you need to start right now, or you're going to get crushed. Okay, let's look at the actual data so you know I'm not just fear-mongering. Look at this gap. This is the wealth gap. Wages have grown about 12% in the last few years, but home prices in many areas are up 40 to 50%. The math simply doesn't work for the average earner anymore. And here is the kicker about 2026. Most experts predict the market will remain stagnant. That sounds boring, but stagnant is dangerous. It means prices won't crash enough to be cheap, but rates won't drop enough to be affordable. You get stuck in the middle. Unless you change your mindset about what an asset actually is. I need you to unlearn something today. Your home is not your biggest asset. In this market, it is your biggest liability. Think about it. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Does your house pay you? No. It takes mortgage, insurance, taxes, repairs, and HOA fees every single month. Smart investors right now are doing the opposite of the crowd. They aren't rushing to buy a liability. They are building liquidity, cash flow. Because when 2026 hits, cash is king. If you have cash, you have options. If you have a massive mortgage and lose your job, you have a crisis. I've broken this down into 3 steps to flip the script. Step number 2 is the one almost everyone ignores, and it ruins their chances completely. All right, here is the roadmap. The A to Z plan to survive and thrive. If you can rent for $2,000, but buying costs $2,800, that's an $800 gap. Don't spend it. Invest it. If you put that $800 into an S&P 500 index fund every month for 10 years, look at what happens. Take a screenshot of that. That is your freedom fund. You are renting your way to wealth while others are drowning in mortgage interest. This is the one people miss. In 2026, banks will get picky. If your credit score is 680, you might get denied. If it's 760, you get the VIP treatment. Pay down your credit card balances now. Keep utilization under 10%. You want to look perfect on paper. You cannot save your way out of a housing crisis. You need to earn your way out. Start a side hustle, get a certification. Increase your shovel so you can dig out of debt faster. So, here is the buy box formula I promised you at the start. Only buy a home when you can pass the banker's own test, the 28-36 rule. Your mortgage payment should never be more than 28% of your gross income. Your total debt, cars plus house, should never exceed 36% of your income. And you must have a fully funded emergency fund after the down payment. If a house breaks the 28-36 rule, it's not a dream home, it's a debt trap. Walk away. If this video gave you clarity, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be tracking these 2026 signals every single week so you don't get caught off guard. This is the Wealth Ascent. Make smart moves, and I'll see you in the next one.